virtual Business Wednesday live session. If you have any questions, please type them in the Q&A area and we will answer accordingly. Now, I would like to introduce to you our fearless leader, founder and CEO, Miss Marie Gill.
Thank you, Heather. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see a lot of folks from all over the country. My goodness, from the Virgin Islands and from New York, from California. There are people registered from all over the country. Thank you so much for joining. I know we've been missing in person for a while. We've been doing a lot of repeats, and we've gotten some great comments on the programs that we have been putting out there. But thank you so much for being a loyal viewer and listener of Virtual Business Wednesday. And for those of you who are visiting for the first time, I hope you'll enjoy the program and send your comments to us afterwards. So this program is brought to you by M. Gill and Associates, a management and economic development consulting firm. We've been in business for 35 years. We've been a federal contractor with the U.S. Department of Commerce for almost 30 of those years. So we know a little bit about federal procurement process and contracting. We have had the Minority Business Development Agencies programs for many, many years, for over 25 years. And we are still operating those programs as M. Gill and Associates. Since the MBDA has curtailed its funding and there are some changes in Washington, what we decided to do, since we were operating those programs, we'll continue to operate the Export Center Initiative with the services that we provided as MBDA, with the Business Center Initiative and so forth. So all of the great services that you've grown accustomed to, or that you've heard of, or that you're interested in, M. Gill and Associates is available to take that to you. And we are partners with a number of organizations. So our relationship with the MBDA over the years have given us that access to local businesses, local government, major corporations, and international firms that we can connect you with. And you're going to hear more of that later on in our program. I am so excited that we have two very proficient speakers, panelists today. We have Ginny Marabel from MCM, Magnum Construction Management. Oh my goodness, this organization has been a client, a resource partner, a friend for many, 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 many years, going back to the 90s. So we're very happy that Ginny is with us today. And we have Emily McHugh, who she is an international consulting guru, you know, speaks 3 languages and all that. I'll read their bio for you so that you can get a better idea as each one goes up to speak. But I just wanted to give you that little background that M. Gill and Associates is here. We are providing all these services: access to capital, access to contracts, access to global markets. So today we're gonna deep dive a little bit into the export, with Emily being our export guru, international trade guru. And I think, Emily, I think you're gonna go first. So let me just give our audience a little bit more about who you are, okay? Emily McHugh is the Director of International Trade with M. Gill and Associates, where she specializes in market entry consulting, guiding businesses to successfully navigate global market entry. She serves on the board of the Jamaica USA Chamber of Commerce actively supporting Caribbean and cross-border trade and investment. She's the author of The Little Girl's Guide to Entrepreneurship, based on her award-winning entrepreneurial journey and her desire to encourage future entrepreneurs. That is so cool. Her international career spans roles in trade, finance, and foreign exchange at National Bank of Paris in New York and Mexico City. She is the founder of Chameleon International, a parent company of Kasori, an award-winning travel accessories brand that has worked with global suppliers and distributors. I'm telling you, their products are innovative, very, very nice. Having lived in 6 countries and fluent in 3 languages, Emily brings a rich cross-cultural perspective to international trade. In addition to her international business background, Emily is an accomplished violinist who has been featured on CBS News and annually performs the national anthem for the New York Mets. She also launched superchargedviolin.com, an online violin academy. Emily holds a BA degree from Swarthmore College and an MBA from Columbia University. And you can connect with her, Emily, at mgillonline.com. Okay, that's it. This lady is really something. Emily, welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. So take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Gill. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for your kind intro. And we're happy to see you back on with us for sure. Very thankful to have you back with us. And this morning, I wanted to highlight the next frontier, if you will, of our services regarding international trade and market entry strategy. And so at M. Gill & Associates, as was mentioned, I'm the Director of International Trade and Exports. So my goal is to facilitate companies who want to enter new markets or expand in markets that they're currently in, or prepare for the process of entering a market. Like you're new to exports, you could be new to exports and are not aware of the steps involved and the processes. We're here to assist you in that regard. So I have kind of summarized what we do in 3 sections. So market entry, as I said, regardless of the market, whether it's a foreign market or a new market within the US, if you're in the US, or if you're overseas and you want to enter the US market. One of the things people need to realize is that all of the markets are highly segmented. So you might say, I want to ship to Japan, or I want to ship to Germany, or I want to ship to India, and realizing that all of these countries have very specific regions, so you can't just say the whole country. Is like, what region in that country are you focusing on? Similar to the US, I want to ship to the US if I'm overseas. Are you shipping to New York, to California, to Florida? So really understanding the breakdown of each market is very essential. So it's more than just a blanket thing, it's a drill down. So the 3 key sections I want to highlight, and I call it our trade acceleration services, because that's what we're trying to do, accelerate your success in a marketplace. So it starts off, number 1, by having a strategic positioning, having an understanding of the market, the lay of the land, the culture, the cultural component of the country. Just jumping into a foreign country without understanding the culture is a very dangerous process. It is absolutely, essential and critical to understand where you're going and the customs, the mores of the people that you're going to be dealing with, because that will absolutely make or break your success, without question. It is the fundamental thing. One of the stories I always like to share, my very first trip to China, when I used to go there to visit factories and so forth, the first lesson I learned was Asia in general, but specifically China in this case, that when you give your business card, you present it with both hands, both hands. You never just hand someone a card like that. You present it with both hands to show total respect, to show that you're paying attention to them, that you're giving all of yourself. And you know, some years ago I was at a meeting based in the US, and someone just threw their business cards down the table, just slid it down the table to someone. I'm like, we would never do that in Asia. That would be considered so disrespectful. But here, you know, we don't attach that cultural significance. But ever since that, I always try to hand any card with both hands. And anytime someone does it to me, I know they've been in Asia for sure. So those subtle symbols, just like things like that. So we assist our clients in understanding, number one, that aspect. Then also, what is the business landscape? What is the competitive landscape like for your product or service? How would it fit in to where you are going? What would be your competitive advantage relative to other similar products that may currently exist or may not exist? And also realizing that even though you may have something that is needed, that doesn't mean that the market may want it. That's a very essential. It's hard to swallow that one, but it's true. You could have the best product that people need, but they're like, well, we don't really want to get it. So, you know, how do you navigate that as well? How do you position yourself under those circumstances? And this also, the strategic positioning includes how you communicate your value, how you communicate what you're offering with the marketplace, whether it be your social media positioning as well, and how you have that consistency so that if people were to look for you, you have a consistent reinforced message that conveys what you your objectives. So that's number one, strategic positioning. Number two is market entry readiness, which is very much a part of the strategic positioning. Are you ready to enter the market? Are you aware of what it takes, of logistics, of the parameters, of the costs necessary? So the whole idea is to set yourself up for success from day one, have realistic expectations. It's not just go in, close a deal and done. It's a whole relationship building process, which may take longer than a lot of people are expecting. It may take longer than you're comfortable with, but knowing that that is normal will allow you to kind of write it out and understand that's par for the course. So market entry readiness, preparing yourself for what it takes to enter a market. And then thirdly, having a success checklist. What does success truly look like? And again, that helps to keep your expectations in alignment, that you are, again, being realistic with what is required for the market that you're pursuing, and having a timeline that actually is in sync with what it takes to accomplish what you want to take. So having that kind of comprehensive approach allows us to provide our clients with some peace of mind also, especially in this turbulent time where we are currently. Tariffs are up, tariffs are down, wars are happening, wars are not happening. I mean, it's up and down. We're on a roller coaster. So how do you navigate a space where the sands are constantly shifting? Well, one of the tips I could share with you is to have clarity about yourself. You may not be able to control the world around you. You may not be able to control all the political changes, but you can have some control over yourself and your own business, about what you bring to the marketplace, about how you want to shape the landscape. And don't underestimate your direct impact. Every business owner, business, small business, big business, whoever or whatever you are, you have an impact. You have a voice. You have a role to play. And so if you craft your message in such a way to communicate that, you will maybe surprise yourself at what changes you can affect. So I think the focus should be there, and understanding the greater environment, yes, navigating within it, but staying steady, anchored in what you're about. And don't allow the shifting sands to destabilize your focus on what your mission is. So that's one of the biggest things I would say. And we're in a time now when authenticity is the new catchphrase, and authenticity is revered because so many things are not authentic anymore. So the more authentic you are, and as I'm mentioning, true to your mission and your brand identity and what you bring to the marketplace, the better off you will be, whether you're domestic or international.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only
Yes.
one of the things that we are good at doing is preparing the export marketing plan in collaboration with some of our other international trade and export partners. So many of the things that you are saying to them, if somebody is interested in putting an export marketing plan together, there's a cost for it, but you could talk to them about that. But we want them to know that we can assist it with that process. Okay,
Yes.
and I think could you give us some final thoughts?
Okay, yeah, so we do work with collaborative partners, definitely. And one of the benefits of working with M. Gill and Associates is our deep breadth and reach when it comes to our partners and our connections, not only in the United States, but globally. We are provide the services for the Jamaica USA Chamber of Commerce. So we have very tight links with Jamaica, with the Caribbean, and beyond. So we always recommend that people start, if you're based in Florida, for example. I know people are watching this from different parts of the country or the world. Regardless of where you are, always think of the markets that are the closest to you. We happen to be based here in Florida, so the Caribbean is the closest market. So what opportunities exist there? What opportunities exist near to you? And then you can venture forth, so that's one strategy to keep in mind. But yes, we definitely can provide, you will see on the slide here, a list of services that we offer. And what we want to do is to be able to tailor what you need. So instead of giving you a laundry list of all the things, we're like, okay, let's assess what your needs are and then select the appropriate services that fit you and your company. And the export marketing plan that Ms. Gill mentioned is a program that provides an analysis of the potential market. It kind of summarizes some of the things that I mentioned here and prepares a plan of action for your particular business or company. So that is what that provides. But in closing, I would say, please do not be afraid of international markets, given when you see the news or things are happening, you're like, oh, maybe I should just focus locally. To the contrary, there are more opportunities now than ever before. When there's crisis, there is opportunity. As a matter of fact, the Chinese word for crisis is opportunity. So don't see it necessarily as the end of the world for your business. See it as, what kind of opportunities can I now explore? So more than ever, you want to explore international market opportunities, and we are here to help you navigate those waters. So thank you so much for your time and attention. We're happy to answer any questions you may have. Ms. Gail, back to you.
Okay, yes, thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
I think we will save the questions for when we get to the Q&A session so
Okay.
that we can hear from Ginny. Okay, that was a rather comprehensive overview of the export opportunity and what we can do to help businesses and how they should be prepared. We also have there's so much to talk about, you can't get it in one setting, because we have an export academy for an online academy for people who are new to export. And it's like a 12 module program that folks do online, and you graduate and get a certificate. It's wonderful. So you stick with Emily, and there's a lot of resources that she can bring your way. Thanks, Emily. All right, so we've got Ginny Mirabel, my friend, my partner for so many years in business with MCM. And let me find Ginny's bio right here. And it's Virginia, but we call her Ginny. Everybody calls her Ginny. She is the SBE, Small Business Enterprise Program Manager at Miami International Airport, their MCC program. And I know she's been doing this for years. Magnum Construction Management is the company that she represents that runs that program at MIA. Very good job. You know, you go to the airport where you see her work and her programs all over the place. Okay, so she joined MIA's Miscellaneous Construction Program. That's what the MCC stands for. In September 1991, right? Under the management of local prime contractors, currently under Magnum Construction Management. The MIA's MCC program has been very instrumental in providing local small businesses with construction work opportunities since 1986, totaling over 300 million throughout all counties' airports. For the past 31 years, Ginny has been extremely active in organizing and attending community outreach events throughout Miami-Dade County to promote this program and to optimize the participation by Miami-Dade County's local certified small business firms. So as the SBE program manager, she is responsible for all bid advertisements and bid solicitations and for recommending both local SBEC trade set aside contract measures. See, she's a big shot. She's got some power, man, as well as DBE gold participation on all projects. All right, so it's good to know this lady because she helps to make some serious decisions that can help position small businesses for these contracts. She has organized and provided educational training for all SBECs, such as continuing education classes for state and local license renewals, and one of her important duties as a small business manager. That is one of her important duties. Okay, so with her background in accounting, she manages all budget, payments, bookkeeping for the program. Yeah, you have quite a bit on your hand there. I have served, yeah, yeah. She says I have served as a board member of the Miami-Dade County CSBE. I think it's the County Small Business Enterprise Advisory Board, appointed by the Board of County Commissioners for 2 years, which has been a great honor. And I was one of the founding members of the CSBE Association, a local nonprofit organization dedicated to the advocacy of the small business community. M. Gill and Associates is a member of the CSBE Association, Ginny. Thank you so much for that fantastic work that you're doing there. So what you got for us today?
Well, Marie, good morning to you and to everyone that's listening to us today. And on behalf of MCM, which I represent, I'd like to say thank you, Ms. Gill, for all your efforts throughout so many years here in Miami-Dade County, and not just in Miami-Dade County, but throughout, just promoting and being an advocate for the small business and giving them opportunities for them to grow and be part of our society and stuff like that. You have done a great work, and it's been an honor for MCM to accompany you and help you in your endeavors. But that being said, thank you for this opportunity. I just want to say to everyone that's listening today, please continue to listen to what Ms. Gill is providing to you, because like myself and the other lady, Ms. Emily, we have a lot of opportunities, a lot of ways in which you yourself and your community could grow through just the offers that we have for you. And the more you get educated by listening, the more you can expand your business, the more you can learn about what's going on in the world. And it is a great place where we are today, where we have really information right in front of us, so we could do this webinar. There's so many ways that you could find all these opportunities that are out there to enrich your life, grow your business, help your community, and stuff like that. So it's been a pleasure to be here at Miami International Airport, Miami, Florida, to see the growth, not just the Miami International Airport has gone through, but also Miami-Dade County. It is a very vital moment right now in the county, where we see a lot of construction growth all throughout South Florida, and Miami International Airport is just growing just in leaps and bounds. So the program that MCM right now has the privilege to be able to manage is a great program. Like I said, it was, like Ms. Marie said, it has been around since 1986. It has been a bouncing board for small businesses to come and do work under a prime contractor like MCM, and learn about how to do business with the county, learn about all the ups and downs and what you need to go through to be able to satisfy all the requirements on an entity like an international airport, which you have FAA, you have Customs and Border Patrol, TSA, all these regulations. So it is a great opportunity. Programs like this offer the small business or the local community to be able to work under a huge entity like the airport and be able to be part of that growth. So it has been the privilege of this program to be able to have given to the small business almost $300 million in small construction contracts. And the way that this works is basically we take a need for the airport, we take that job and divide it into small packages. So we have as many as they say 10, 15 contractors work on one project at the same time, and that spreads out the work, which helps with the local labor force, with bringing money into the community. So it's been very successful. Alongside that, it does help the aviation department by having an in-house prime contractor that's readily and available to help with any emergency. As you could understand, it is a huge airport. There's constantly open 24/7 hours. So there's always a need for an emergency work and stuff like that. So it is great for it also for an airport. So it's been recognized not just in Miami, Florida, whatever, but other states have looked into it as well to basically mimic this type of program, because it helps them and it helps the small business community. Alongside, the efforts and for the program is that we try to advocate and also give as many trainings as possible to help the small business community grow in management of their in-house, office management and stuff like that, in providing safety to make sure that all their workers, laborers have at least a 30-hour OSHA, which is extremely important to be here at the airport, that they must be very safety orientated and guided through their work. So that's one of the other means and methods that we also help the small business here. As a prime contractor, overall, MCM has been very instrumental and also been part of the growth of Miami-Dade County. And most everywhere that you go in Miami-Dade County, you will see something that MCM has built or been part of. So we are a big, large firm, and we have always been partnering up with associations like Ms. Skills to help and promote other contractors to work under us. Our success has been, because of the participation by the smaller companies that has helped MCM to grow to where we are today. And that's why we are very honored to always be able to present opportunities to the small business. There's so many other particulars about this program that it's probably too lengthy, but I do not want to bore you. But I just want to say that please, yes, we are in a wonderful time in our world right now where we have the potential to grow, and we have the resources like Ms. Gill provides to all of you to be able to make that possible, that dream come true for you. And we're here to serve you. You have my email, my contact information. So does Emily. I'm sure she's also Ms. Gill. We're here to help you in your growth. And honestly, the more you participate, the better you're where to in that effort. I don't have much to say that unless if you're in Miami-Dade and you're interested in to hear more about the program and the opportunities that are coming for bid in the next couple of weeks, please come, let me know, because we do have 2 pre-bids scheduled for the week, next week and the week after that. You're welcome to participate, and I could guide you through all the bid documents and how to put a proposal together for us. And that's it. So basically, I'm here to help out and to continue offering my services to make sure that the community grows alongside Miami-Dade County and the airport.
Fantastic. Okay, okay. So to participate in that program, Ginny, you have to be Miami-Dade County business, or would
Yes.
a business, for example, be able to participate?
Yes, so we still do use the small business certification process because we're grandfathered before the state of Florida went through a new House Bill 705, which basically stopped the pools of contractors. But because our program was awarded prior to that date of July 2024, we're still able to utilize the small business who are certified in Miami-Dade County. As well, before we're also doing disadvantaged business enterprise goals as well, but I know right now that small business point has also been put on hold until the new rules and regulations come out. There will still be a program, which I'm very happy to hear, but just in a different format. I believe that the new format will be based on financials, not based on gender or race or like. So we're looking forward to having that back again. But as I said, under the local preference program, we're still actively working with the small business certified firms. There's still about 740 firms who are active right now. And we do have the opportunity, like I said, next week and the week after, we have close to $6 million worth of work that we will be putting out to solicitation. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to me and I will send you the bid documents.
Cool. Okay, that's fantastic. Heather, do we have some questions from the chat?
Yes, we have a couple questions that came in. There's this question, and this goes to Ginny. How do I sign up to participate in this training program that was seen on the screen just now?
That would be a great question. So please use my email, vmirabal@mcm-us.com. Send me an email with your interest and I will respond back to you and I'll make it available to you as much as I possibly can. And that training, and we also have OSHA 30 classes and how to do business with Miami-Dade County. All those trainings are based out of my office. So please, whatever you're interested in, send me an email and I will definitely get back to you and make you part of it.
Wonderful. Anything else, Heather?
Yes. This question says, I'm new to construction. Can I still participate or do I need prior experience?
All you require is your license and your local business tax license in Miami-Dade County, and you could definitely participate. As long as you have a license and you have a valuable corporation or LLC or incorporated, you show us that and you could definitely participate in our bidding process.
Okay.
All right. There's this question for Emily. My business does well where I am, but how do I know if my product or service will even be relevant in a different market?
Well, I guess that really depends on what the product or service is, obviously, but you want to examine whether the needs that you're meeting in the current market that you have might similar needs exist elsewhere. Is what you're offering just exclusive to where you are, or is it something that could be a greater need beyond your region? So that's one key question to ask, and that's where I would begin the research for that, because everything is about relevance. You know, even big major international brands or consumer brands you're familiar with, they have to go through this process. They can't just say, okay, one product here works great, it's a top selling beverage here, is going to be a top selling beverage everywhere else. That is not necessarily so. They may have to adjust the flavor, they may have to adjust the packaging. You know, they have to get that sense, tapping in back to what I was mentioning earlier about the cultural connections with you know, one example that comes to mind, if I don't know, you guys remember the Chevy Nova, that goes back many years ago, but they couldn't understand why is that car not selling in Mexico. because nova in Espanol means it doesn't go. So nobody wants to buy a car that doesn't go. So that's one little example. So maybe just a name change would have solved that.
That was so funny. Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Heather?
Yes. Here we go. How do I, again for Emily, how do I identify the right market to enter instead of just chasing opportunities?
Oh, I love that one. So okay, that's such a multi-level question there, but chasing opportunities. So this is a key thing. Not every opportunity is your opportunity. Not every good opportunity is your opportunity, or not every good opportunity you should necessarily pursue. Why? Because there are too many of them. So we do have to narrow it down. So Heather, I'm going to ask you, just repeat the question so I make sure I don't vary off. I just want you to repeat it one more time for me.
Okay. How do I identify the right market to enter instead of just chasing opportunities?
Okay, very good. So the first part, I addressed the first part, that second. The second part regarding identifying the right market for you goes back to your core product that you have to offer and your core client. So what we do here at MGill, I'm going to just put it point blank, that's exactly what we assist you to do. How to identify the right market. There could be maybe 10 excellent markets that would be wonderful for what you have to offer. They have the client, they have the need, etc. There's a desire, but the logistical necessities to reach that market, to get into that market, will differ by market. So then we want to then look at what is the easiest market to get into that meets your criteria. And then we narrow it down from there. So instead of focusing on 10, we start by focusing on 1. And that's how we start to narrow down the process to drill down into what it takes for you to enter that specific market. And that's how we're able to do it. And then build from there, because you don't want to spread yourself thin and try to overexpand and go all over the place too quickly, because it will dilute your resources and your time, your energy, and so forth. So consolidating, and then we drill down where the greatest opportunity could exist.
Right. And we do have partners and representatives who are in various countries that we call on, and they can really do some of the local groundwork researching for us and advise us as to what's going on there, what kind of interest there may be, and if somebody is selling what you're selling, who that somebody is, so you can know your competition. So that's one of the great things that came as a result of the MBDA programs. We were able to make all of these connections, which we maintain, and that really helps us to do some of the things that Emily is talking about. So thank you for that, Emily. I have a construction question. The bonding, you mentioned that projects that are 200,000 and under, would not require bonding. But if the project is more, do you have a bonding program? I know we work with someone, but do you provide bonding for the companies that need it, Ginny?
Yes, well, there are multiple ways that where MCM could assist with that, not just through MCM, but also through Miami-Dade County Small Business Department. They do have a bonding person that handles that. You could go through them and they could assist you, and they're always very successful. Even if you never applied for a bond before, it has been like, I believe it has had over 99% responsive to yes, you get your bond. So do not let that hold you back. There are many resources, many ways that we could help you with the bond. And remember, those only for bids that are $200,000 or greater. But under this program, we try to keep those packages under 200, so you will not have to be worried about that bond. And
Yeah.
that's one of the greatest things that we have. You know, you get, I mean, there's multiple contracts for 150, 190, 180, 130, 20,000, 30,000. So you have a variety of different contests you could bid on where you don't have to worry about if you starting to feel more confident and you know that you could do. By all means, you have the chance also to bid on those packages that are greater than $200,000 and just work your way up. And that's how I've seen it through the many years. You know, the company get that stability in the financials, and they start now bonding things are $2.5, $3 million easily because they were given that chance through the assistance that MCM and Small Business Department provide to you.
Right. And the county uses the same bonding company that's a partner with us as well, you know,
Good. That's
FSB agency. And we talk about them a lot on the webinars because they are so good. And you're correct, you know. Start small, especially if you're new to the construction, relatively new to the construction industry. Then, you know, we look to start small and then you grow. And you
Yes.
grow and you grow. Yeah, you know, because the bonding that you can achieve is really pretty much based on the last contract that you got. So you got to build it in order to get to the $1 million. But we've seen where some company have started out at 150,
Yes.
like you mentioned, and now they're a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah, yes. Marie, you and I have witnessed that so many times. Isn't that wonderful? You and I have seen so many of those companies. We're so proud of them and all that, and to see them grow so, to such a prosperous company. So I have been honored alongside with you to see that growth of so many companies here in Miami-Dade County.
So it's possible with the right resources and the right kind of support and your diligence as a business person, you know, we'll make it happen for all of us, for you, because if you're not successful, then we're not successful either. So we gotta make sure that you hit your goals so that we can hit ours as well. Yeah. Okay. Heather, do you have anything else?
No, I don't, Ms. Gill. No further questions.
Okay. So, Emily, do you have any final thoughts?
Yes, I would like to encourage businesses not to think that international trade is out of their reach. Sometimes people may have the notion that, oh, you have to be a big company to export, and that couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yes.
It's really a good maxim to consider yourself a global company from day one, because again, the markets are so interrelated between supplies and components and inputs and all of these things. It's just so inextricably linked that think of yourself as part of a bigger global network. And even if you haven't begun, maybe you have not started to export, you can start to think of yourself as part of that ecosystem, and then eventually you will tap into the opportunities and so on. So you're not too small to export, and definitely start to look into it sooner than later. And we're here to help you, support you in that journey. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Emily. Ginny, any final thoughts?
Just basically your basic, to all of you who are listening today, if you have that vision or that desire to do something in your life, go for it. I have seen it over and over again, and we encourage you, the three of us encourage you, please definitely do what's in your heart. And then there's so many tools out there to help you in your endeavor, and you will be successful. So our wishes to you guys is, go for it, and you have our support. And if there's anything that the three of us could help you to, to grow in your business, we're here for you. And we wish you well. And thank you so much for listening to me today.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you both very much. We're gonna take a look at upcoming events now. Yeah. Is it me or, oh, okay. Well, this is our Midweek Minority Enterprise Development Week, our 44th Midweek. Can you believe it?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it is so broad-based now that we've decided to give it that regional twist, because we have so much participation from, especially from the Southeast region, you know. So MedWeek is going to be November 19th from early morning until 10 o'clock, yes, but really need to be there earlier, especially if you're exhibiting. And there are a lot of, can you go back to MedWeek, please? There are a lot of opportunities. And if you notice, we always try to make sure that we're hitting that AAA process, access to capital, to help you get the financing that you need. So we will convene with a number of financial institutions and programs and even grant programs, right? Access to contracts, of course, the folks with the contracts, both government and corporation, and access to global markets. And Emily's got her finger on the pulse there, and we will bring in companies from, we work with FITCI, so usually we have companies from the LATAM countries, from Latin America, and even from Europe, because the UK is always there, and Asia, of course, a lot of people, a lot of companies from the Caribbean. So, and of course, let's not forget Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa. We really work very closely with, Kenya, Nigeria, a number of the African countries. And we even have MOUs. Emily, I don't know if we had told you that we have an MOU with Johannesburg. Anyway, I mean, we have MOUs with Brazil and Colombia and Chile. So we can talk about that. But the reason I mentioned that is because when you have these MOU, really, it's a little bit closer, to the organizations, and they take more interest in working with you. So the idea of the MOUs is that they overseas want to expose their opportunities to US firms, and US firms are interested in doing business with those countries. And if they're not, Emily's going to introduce them to those. So that's why the MOU, to kind of solidify that relationship a little bit more. So some of those folks are going to be at MedWeek, as always. So we want you to save the date. It's November. Where's the date? Oh, it's on the left side of the flyer, 19th November from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. And you'll be hearing more about that. And Heather is going to be sending out early bird prices. And they're going to start at one level, and they're going to keep going up, because we have a lot of time this year. We didn't wait until August or September to start promoting. So please put that in your calendar. Next, please. Do you have anything else, Heather?
Just the information about the chamber services.
Okay, that's it for now then. Oh, the chamber. Emily, you want to touch on that? This is one of our promotional flyers.
Yes, so we want to encourage people to consider being a part of the Jamaica USA Chamber of Commerce. It comes with various benefits, one of them being some discounted access to some of our services that we provide, as I mentioned before, but really encouraging trade between the Caribbean and the US, and in particular Jamaica here, working with companies in Jamaica who want to come to the US and vice versa from the US wanting to go to Jamaica. And especially now during the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, there's a lot of activity opportunities on the island for rebuilding and for growth and construction and various other capacities as well. So we definitely encourage connecting with us regarding that as well and exploring those opportunities.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, Heather. I think is signature page. Thank you. Okay. So contact us, marie@mgillonline.com or admin@mgillonline.com. And I think in the previous slides, we had emails for Emily@mgillonline.com. And Ginny has, what we usually do, Ginny, is we send a follow-up thank you for participating in the webinar. And then we'll have all of our information sent out with that email, a constant contact email. So let me just take this opportunity to thank everyone for being a part of today's webinar. Wonderful information, and I hope you took notes. And if you have questions for Emily or for Ginny or for M. Gill and Associates, please let us know. We'll be happy to address them for you. Once again, I know you're all over the country. I see New York, I see California, I see Maryland, I see the Virgin Islands, and I see across Florida. So thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to helping you grow your business. Thanks, Ginny. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Heather. We can sign off now. Until next time, walk good, as we say in Jamaica. To your success. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.